Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out the Film Geek, and happy Valentine's Day. Today I'm talking about the 1971 film, Harold and Maude.
I like to watch things grow. They grow and bloom and fade and die and change into something else. Like
Harold and Maude is directed by Hal Ashby, and it's starring Ruth Gordon and Bud Cort. A pessimistic young man becomes unlikely friends with an old woman who lives each day to its fullest and is filled with positivity. The screenplay for this film was originally writer Colin Higgins' master thesis for film school. The movie was filmed in the San Francisco Bay Area, such as Holy Cross Cemetery and the Golden Gate National Cemetery, the ruins of Sutro Bath, and Rose Court Mansion in Hillsborough, California. The film was critically and commercially unsuccessful when first released. The film eventually developed a cult following and made its first profit in 1983. The film was selected for preservation in the National Film Registry in 1997 and was ranked number 45 on the American Film Institute list of 100 funniest movies of all time in 2000. The Criterion Collection also released a Blu-ray DVD in 2012. So what do I like about this movie? Well, first I want to talk about the message of this film. And the message is simple. Live each day to its fullest. Try to suck as much life out of every single minute you're floating around on this rock. The first time I saw this film was in college, and it was for film appreciation class. And it was actually on a list of films that we had to watch and then write a short review of and present to the class the next day. And I was going down the list, and there were a lot of movies on there I had seen. And then I saw this one film, 1971's Harold and Maude. And I read the synopsis, and I thought, you know what? This sounds right up my alley. Kind of weird, kind of different. Let's check it out. And let me tell you guys, it was one of the greatest decisions I ever made when choosing a movie. I loved this film. It is in easily my top 10 favorite movies of all time. I'm not going to try to fit it into that list right now, but let me say, if I were to make a top 10 favorite movies of all time, this one would be on the list. In fact, when people ask that weird question where it's like, you get stuck on a desert island and you have one book or one movie that's your entertainment, what do you take with you? Okay, every time I would say Harold and Maude, and the reason I say Harold and Maude is because I don't want to live in a world where I can't watch this movie whenever I want. I'd like to talk about the characters Harold and Maude and how they work together. And they're kind of like yin and yang. You have Harold, who's obsessed with death and he's very pessimistic. You have Maude, who's obsessed with living her day to its fullest and trying to do something new that she's never done before each and every day. She's also filled with positivity. She's also obsessed with death, but in a very different manner. Maude looks at it as something that you can't escape and as life's last great adventure. She doesn't fear death, she more or less accepts it as part of life. Now, Harold and Maude actually end up meeting at a funeral, but they're there for different reasons. Harold's there because, as I said, he's obsessed with death and dying, and Maude's there because she's there to celebrate the life of the person at the funeral. So the two of them start an unlikely friendship, one of which is obsessed with death and the other one is obsessed with living life to its fullest. Maude teaches Harold the importance of positivity and how to take each day and celebrate it like it's gonna be your last. Now, this movie does have themes of suicide, so hey, warning there, if that's something that you can't handle in a movie. For instance, I can't watch movies where kids get hurt or kidnapped or murdered or something like that. It takes a lot out of me to watch a movie like that. So I get it. If suicide is something that you just cannot see no matter what, then hey, warning, this film has some suicide subject matter in it. Now, that being said, it does handle it in kind of a respectful but comedic manner. Harold likes to try to freak his mom out to get a rise out of her, and in doing that, he fakes suicides, but he does it in a very strange and outlandish fashion that you know that he's just kind of joking around, and the movie makes a a good point of showing that this is something that Harold's been up to for a good minute. The last thing I'm going to talk about is the reason why I chose this movie for Valentine's Day. Because this, in my opinion, is my all-time favorite love story. And I'm not talking about the relationship between Harold and Maude. I'm actually talking about the relationship between Harold and life. This movie is the story about a young man falling in love with living. He's at a breaking point in his life where he's giving up his childish ways and he's moving into adulthood. And thank goodness he met someone like Maude right before he transferred over into being a old stingy adult, because Maude taught him how to take every day and turn it into something wonderful and beautiful. And as the movie progresses, Harold falls in love with life. And if that ain't a good love story, well, hell guys, I don't know what is. So if you're curious and you want to check out Harold and Maude, well, you can find it for rent on YouTube, Google Movies, Vudu, and Amazon Prime. And as I mentioned, it is on a special edition Criterion Blu-ray, but this sucker's out of print and it's a little pricey these days. There is also a DVD out there, but it's also out of print. Now, these are things that I'm mentioning in the States, so if you're outside the country, this movie may be readily available to you. I don't know, but here in the States, you got that and another out of print DVD. But it's out there for rent, and also keep your eye on Amazon Prime, guys, because I see it pop up a lot on there to stream for free for members, so keep your eyes open. It may pop up, but who knows. Right now you can find it for rent, like I said, so keep your eyes open. Who knows, one of these days it might pop up on something. Okay guys, that brings us to the end of another Film Geek video. If you liked what you saw here, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications, and give me the old thumbs up so I know you like what you're seeing. And if there's another thing you can do, folks, that is keep watching movies. You know I'm gonna.